Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are looking at a very, very fun matchup tonight, Nate. Best matchup of the season so far. The 18-2 Warriors taking on the 17-3 Suns in Phoenix. Take a look at some of those best bets and a few player props in there. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page, as we've also got a couple other videos up tonight for you. That player props video we bring you every day, and that New York matchup where Brooklyn's hosting the Knicks. But as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got right now. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, this is the premier game of the night for sure. The Suns have opened at 2.5, and they're down to -2. The total had crept up to 223, and it's down to 222. And we'll look at that after checking out the other four games here on the slate. We got Knicks +7 at Nets, and we break that one down in a separate episode. We got the Grizz +3.5 at Raptors with a total of just 216.5. Those teams are giving up a combined 233 points in their last 9 games, just FYI. And Lakers -4 at Kings with a total of 226 after they went to triple overtime last week. And then the Pistons are +10 at the Blazers. But we're definitely going to be watching this one on the West Coast, seeing if the Suns can extend their 16-game win streak against the top team in the NBA thus far. The Suns started, because the spread took some time to catch up to their streak, 7-1 against the spread. They're 3-5 since, but they've covered, those 3 covers have come against returning playoff teams, the Nuggets, Knicks, and Nets. Clearly, there's a small spread here, and their antenna will be up to try to beat this Warriors team. Division rivals, top teams of the West, very important game. And they had won 3 of 4 against these Warriors prior to a loss last May when the Warriors were just on an absolute tear. It was, teams just not necessarily having the same priorities at that point. And a bit of an outlier game from Andrew Wiggins, 38 points on 17 for 24 shooting to get that win. I'm looking at unders here because if we're talking a game with a playoff atmosphere, 2 teams that can really play defense, I think we will see more of a grind down the stretch. Phoenix has shown, at least scheme-wise, the ability to get the ball out of Curry's hands. I mean, that's why we saw Wiggins go off last time. I think they'll probably do a better job on the back end there. And Phoenix went against opponents that they know really well. Since Monty Williams came to town, they're 17-9 to the under against Pacific foes, and 3-0 to the under in division games this year. At home, allowing 104 points per game, held the Dubs to 98 and 93 in those 2 games in Phoenix last season. And they tend to deny what the Warriors do well. I mean, this is the number 1 assist team in the NBA. They're scoring on a whopping 71% of their field goals off assists. And the Suns are allowing the 4th fewest assists per game during this streak. The Warriors are also scoring the highest percentage off turnovers, 3rd highest, actually 18%. And the Suns rarely turn the ball over. With Chris Paul at the helm, Dubs have really slowed down the pace when they're on the road. They're 6-2 to the under on the road. There's a lot of numbers here to indicate that we would have a bit less scoring. Of course, Steph Curry can put all that away with some ridiculous shooting, but I think that the Suns will do a good enough job on him to keep this game below, the winner below 110.
Yeah, I think, what I'm actually kind of on the opposite page as far as the numbers go. It's a little bit of a toss up for, when it's a Suns and Warriors game like this, and both these teams, you consider there's not that much consistency in my opinion to, especially of late, how many points they're scoring, how many points they're giving up. They can both win however they need to win is kind of my point, right? So it's this game could be close low scoring. It could be close, high scoring. But I do think it'll remain somewhat close. And I think what we're looking at here is just where is there any kind of slight advantage for either team? And I don't really find one. I think the Warriors have proven that they're a better team across the board. In every single category that they're pretty much in the top of the league in any sort of relevant category that measures success. And specifically that, as we mentioned, it's really about how they score. A lot of assists. As we know, they move the ball the best of any team in the league, and then they are scoring a lot of their points off fast breaks, getting turnovers, forcing, the other team to make mistakes, which the Phoenix Suns don't do. So that would lead you to think more of the under where, both these defenses come to play. But then again, you've got, guys like Devin Booker and Steph Curry on both sides of the ball. And that's going to lead to a bunch of scoring. And I will take a minute to pause us and say that's our gift card opportunity today, Nate. So make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page so that you can jump in the comments and let us know what the combined point total will be between Steph Curry and Devin Booker. And whoever gets that correct will be delivered a gift card by our man Dan, who takes good care of us with each and every video. I myself am looking at those player props as a way to sort of find some, to kind of call out who I think will be able to score in this game. And I do think Steph has proven already this season that when he's needed, either in a nice comeback win or to just really carry a team with his, 30 to 40 point performances. He does that when needed, see Brooklyn and a couple other games this season that he's really had to put the offense on his back from that extent. It's because he's pulling the three way more than he was last season. He finally started to average about 10 threes a game, which is where he's at right now, actually over that. And I think as a result of that, I'm a little bit scared of that, but I am going to eye his point props. If you get him at 29.5, I think that's pretty good for now. And then the only other thing I would say is one other guy that they're going to need, Phoenix is going to need hugely tonight, is DeAndre Ayton. That is one place that the Warriors have a pretty sound advantage, is that they are third in rebound percentage this year, and the Suns are actually down closer to about 18th. In the league. So that seems like there's a pretty good advantage, despite the fact that the starting center for the Warriors is 6'9" Kevon Looney, who can barely jump over the rim, jump high enough to get over the rim. So, I think DeAndre Ayton has been stepping up as of late. 7 of his last 10 games, he does have over 14 and a half points. He's got about 15 and a half in his last, as I said, in his last 10, averaging about 11 and a half boards as well on the season. There's your double right there. I would say definitely feel good about his 14 and a half points tonight, as he's averaging almost 17 at home. And then, if you want double for him and a victory for those Suns, which is just as likely, this game's pretty much a toss up at this point. That gets you plus 210 on your money. I feel pretty good about him getting those boards tonight now that he's back, getting his minutes in the rotation.
Yeah, and the key for me here is how healthy is Draymond Green, been playing through back spasms. And if he's not at a full go tonight, then the Warriors could struggle on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's a great defender, but their offense has also really sputtered without him setting everything up for Steph and other guys. They're 10 and 22 in the last 2 seasons without him, and their points per game dropped from 111 to 107. So I think I would actually even like the under a little bit more because of that. I would definitely like DeAndre Ayton's props more without the defense of Green down low. And I'm going to be looking at Devin Booker to continue his hot streak on the other side. It seems like we're each kind of leaning towards one contender or another. And I know that the Warriors have silenced all doubters all season, but I feel like the Suns are they're not going to let the streak come to an end now, not at home, not in this kind of primo matchup. I think they've handled business against playoff teams recently. And I think that they can pull this one out. The spread is negligible. I would look at Phoenix winning with the under and see what kind of odds you can get there.
Yeah, that's fine. I think, I can't see Draymond sitting tonight. I'm not positive. Obviously, he's going to play at any point, but I just can't see him sitting in this one. And yeah, if he does sit, though, this is a heavy Phoenix bet game for me at that point. As if the thing is, once you have those two guys on the floor, Steph and Draymond, at this point right now, it seems like they can win anything without Dre. Yeah, that's a huge advantage for Phoenix all over the floor. So either way, it's going to be a good one. one tonight, Nate. I think we're going to see some nice performances from the stars in this one. Plenty of them to go around. But that is all the time we have for today. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page, as we've got that gift card opportunity for you, the combined point total of Steph Curry and Devin Booker tonight. And until we see you next, happy betting.